Good evening, everyone. Life is a journey filled with highs and lows, triumphs and trials. At some point, we all face pain, whether it's failure, loss, or disappointment. But what if I told you that pain doesn't have to be the end of the story? What if, instead of letting it break us, we could use it as a catalyst to rise stronger, wiser, and more empowered than ever before? Today, I want to talk about how we can transform pain into power for growth. This isn't about avoiding hardship or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about embracing our struggles, learning from them, and using them as fuel to create a life of purpose, resilience, and impact. Pain is an inevitable part of the human experience. It comes in many forms: emotional, physical, mental, or even spiritual, and it often feels overwhelming when we're in the midst of it. But the first step in transforming pain into power is to acknowledge it and embrace it fully. So often we try to avoid pain, suppress it, or distract ourselves from it because it's uncomfortable. We tell ourselves to stay strong or move on. But in doing so, we miss the opportunity to truly understand what the pain is trying to teach us. Pain, when faced head-on, becomes a mirror that reflects our deepest fears, insecurities, and areas where we need to grow. It's not the enemy, it's a messenger. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. Maybe it was a personal loss, a professional failure, or a moment of betrayal. In that moment, the pain likely felt insurmountable. But if you look back now, you might realize that it was also a turning point, a moment that forced you to dig deeper, to reevaluate your priorities, and to discover strengths you didn't know you had. This is the power of embracing pain. When we stop running from it and instead sit with it, we begin to see that pain is not just something to endure, but something to learn from. Embracing pain doesn't mean wallowing in it or letting it consume us. It means giving ourselves permission to feel, to grieve, and to process what's happened. It's about being honest with ourselves and saying, this hurts, and that's okay. When we do this, we take the first step toward healing. Pain loses its grip on us when we stop resisting it and instead accept it as part of our journey. This process of acknowledgement and acceptance is where transformation begins. When we embrace our pain, we open the door to growth. We start to see that every setback, every heartbreak, and every failure has a lesson embedded within it. Maybe it's teaching us resilience, patience, or the importance of self-care. Maybe it's showing us that we need to set better boundaries or pursue a different path. Whatever the lesson, it's only when we face our pain with courage and curiosity that we can begin to unlock its potential. So the next time you find yourself in a painful situation, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? How can I use this experience to grow stronger, wiser, and more compassionate? Remember, pain is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you have the power to turn your struggles into strength. Let's take this first step together, because when we embrace our pain, we unlock the door to transformation. Once we've acknowledged and embraced our pain, the next step is to reframe how we see it. Pain has a way of distorting our perspective. It can make us feel like victims, trapped in a cycle of suffering with no way out. But what if we could shift that narrative? What if, instead of seeing pain as a force that holds us back, we could view it as a catalyst for growth? This is where the power of perspective comes in. Reframing our pain isn't about denying its existence or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about choosing to see it through a different lens, one that empowers us rather than diminishes us. Think about a diamond. It starts as a piece of coal, formed under immense pressure and heat over thousands of years. That process isn't comfortable, but it's necessary for the coal to transform into something extraordinary. In the same way, the challenges we face, the pressure, the heat, the discomfort, can shape us into stronger, more resilient versions of ourselves if we allow them to. This shift in perspective doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with a simple question: what if this pain is here to help me, not harm me? When we reframe our pain, we start to see it as a teacher rather than a tormentor. It becomes less about what's happening to us and more about what's happening for us. For example, a career setback might feel like a failure in the moment, but it could also be an opportunity to reassess your goals, learn new skills, or explore a path you hadn't considered before. A broken relationship might leave you heartbroken, but it could also teach you about self-love, boundaries, and what you truly deserve. Even the most painful experiences can become sources of wisdom and strength when we choose to see them as opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective also helps us reclaim our power. Pain can make us feel helpless, as though life is happening to us and we have no control. But when we reframe it, we realize that we always have a choice, not in what happens to us, but in how we respond. We can choose to let pain define us, or we can choose to let it refine us. We can choose to stay stuck in the past, or we can choose to use our pain as fuel to create a better future. This doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight, but it does mean we're no longer at its mercy. Reframing pain is an act of courage. It requires us to look beyond the immediate hurt and see the bigger picture. It asks us to trust that even in our darkest moments, there is a purpose, a lesson, a blessing, or a breakthrough waiting to be discovered. And when we make this shift, we begin to see that pain isn't the end of our story, it's the beginning of a new one. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, ask yourself, how can I see this differently? What opportunity lies hidden within this pain? When we reframe our pain, we unlock the power to transform it into something extraordinary. Once we've embraced our pain and reframed our perspective, the next step is to extract the lessons hidden within it. Pain, in all its forms, is a profound teacher. If we're willing to listen, it has a way of stripping away the superficial and revealing what truly matters. But to uncover these lessons, we must be willing to reflect deeply and honestly on our experiences. This isn't always easy. It requires vulnerability, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront the parts of ourselves we might rather avoid. Yet, it's in this process of reflection that we find the seeds of growth. Think about a time when you faced a significant challenge. At the time, it might have felt like the world was falling apart, but looking back, you can probably see how that experience shaped you in ways you couldn't have anticipated. Maybe it taught you resilience, showing you just how strong you are. Maybe it taught you compassion, helping you understand the struggles of others on a deeper level. Or maybe it taught you the importance of letting go, of releasing what no longer serves you so you can make space for something new. These lessons don't come to us when we're comfortable. They come when we're pushed to our limits, when we're forced to dig deep and find out what we're really made of. Extracting lessons from pain also requires us to ask the right questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" Instead of focusing on what we've lost, we can focus on what we've gained, even if it's just a deeper understanding of ourselves. For example, a failure might teach us the value of perseverance and the importance of learning from our mistakes. A betrayal might teach us about trust, boundaries, and the kind of relationships we want to cultivate. Even the most painful experiences can become sources of wisdom if we're willing to look for the lessons they hold. This process of reflection and learning also helps us make meaning out of our pain. Pain without purpose can feel unbearable, but when we find meaning in it, it becomes something we can carry with strength and grace. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychologist, once said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This is the essence of extracting lessons from pain. It's about using our experiences to grow, to evolve, and to become better versions of ourselves. Of course, this doesn't mean we have to be grateful for the pain itself. Pain is painful, and it's okay to acknowledge that. But we can be grateful for the lessons it brings, for the ways it shapes us and prepares us for the future. When we extract these lessons, we turn our pain into a tool for growth, one that helps us navigate life with greater wisdom, compassion, and resilience. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of a challenge, take a moment to reflect. What is this experience trying to teach me? How can I use this pain to become stronger, wiser, and more aligned with my purpose? When we extract the lessons from our pain, we transform it from a burden into a gift, one that keeps on giving long after the pain has passed. Once we've embraced our pain, reframed our perspective, and extracted the lessons it holds, the next step is to channel that pain into purpose. This is where the transformation truly begins, when we take the energy of our suffering and redirect it towards something meaningful. Pain, when left unaddressed, can feel like a weight dragging us down. But when we harness it, it becomes a powerful force for change, both in our own lives and in the lives of others. Think about some of the most inspiring stories of resilience and transformation. People who have faced unimaginable challenges, loss, illness, betrayal, or failure, often emerge not just as survivors, but as leaders, advocates, and change makers. They take their pain and use it to fuel a greater purpose, whether it's starting a nonprofit, writing a book, or simply being a source of support for others going through similar struggles. This is the power of channeling pain into purpose. It's about taking something that could have broken you and using it to build something beautiful. Channeling pain into purpose starts with asking yourself, what do I care about deeply? What change do I want to see in the world? Your pain often points you toward your purpose. For example, someone who has experienced loss might feel called to support others who are grieving. Someone who has overcome addiction might feel compelled to help others on the same journey. Your pain gives you a unique perspective and a deep sense of empathy, qualities that can make you a powerful force for good. This process also requires action. It's not enough to simply have a purpose. You have to take steps to bring it to life. This might mean volunteering, starting a project, or simply sharing your story in a way that inspires others. Action is what turns pain into power. It's what transforms your suffering from something that happened to you into something that happens through you. And as you take these steps, you'll find that your pain begins to lose its grip on you. It no longer defines you. Instead, it becomes a part of your story, a chapter that shaped you but doesn't control you. Channeling pain into purpose also has a ripple effect. When you use your pain to make a difference, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage becomes their courage. Your hope becomes their hope. You show them that it's possible to rise from the ashes and create something meaningful out of the pain. This is how we turn individual suffering into collective healing. Of course, this process isn't linear. There will be days when the pain feels heavy, when it's hard to see the purpose or take action, and that's okay. Healing is a journey, not a destination. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one step at a time, trusting that your pain has a purpose, even when you can't see it yet. So the next time you find yourself grappling with pain, ask yourself, how can I use this to make a difference? How can I turn my struggle into something that serves others? When you channel your pain into purpose, you not only transform your own life, you create a legacy of hope and resilience that can inspire others for generations to come. Once we've embraced our pain, reframed our perspective, extracted its lessons, and channeled it into purpose, the next step is to build resilience through action. Resilience isn't something we're born with. It's something we develop through the choices we make and the actions we take, especially in the face of adversity. Pain has a way of testing our limits, but it also gives us the opportunity to discover just how strong we are. And the key to unlocking that strength lies in taking consistent, intentional steps forward, even when the path ahead feels uncertain. Think about a time when you faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable. At first, it might have felt overwhelming, but as you began to take small steps, whether it was seeking support, learning new skills, or simply showing up each day, you started to see progress. That's the power of action. It's not about having all the answers or knowing exactly how things will turn out. It's about trusting that each step you take, no matter how small, is moving you closer to healing and growth. Building resilience through action also means cultivating habits that support your well-being. This could include practices like mindfulness, journaling, exercise, or spending time with loved ones. These habits act as anchors, helping you stay grounded and focused even when life feels chaotic. They remind you that no matter what happens, you have the tools to navigate it. And over time, these small, consistent actions add up, creating a foundation of strength and stability that can carry you through even the toughest times. Another important aspect of building resilience is learning to adapt. Pain often forces us to confront situations we didn't plan for, and in those moments, flexibility becomes our greatest asset. This might mean letting go of old expectations, embracing new ways of thinking, or finding creative solutions to problems. Adaptation isn't about giving up. It's about finding new ways to move forward. It's about recognizing that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Taking action also helps us reclaim our sense of agency. Pain can make us feel powerless, as though we're at the mercy of circumstances beyond our control. But when we take action, we remind ourselves that we are not passive observers in our own lives. We are active participants. Each decision we make, each step we take, is a declaration that we are capable of shaping our own destiny. This sense of agency is at the heart of resilience. It's what allows us to face challenges with courage and determination, knowing that we have the power to overcome them. Of course, building resilience isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. There will be setbacks and moments of doubt, and that's okay. What matters is that we keep going, that we keep taking action, even when it's hard, because every step we take, no matter how small, is a step toward growth. So, the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, remember, resilience is built through action. Take that first step, no matter how small, and trust that each step after will become easier. When we build resilience through action, we transform pain into power, one step at a time. As we journey through the process of transforming pain into power, we reach a point where our experiences no longer belong solely to us. They become stories that can inspire and uplift others. This is the final step, using our pain to empower those around us. When we share our struggles and the lessons we've learned, we create a ripple effect of hope and resilience that can touch countless lives. Our pain, once a source of isolation, becomes a bridge that connects us to others, reminding them that they are not alone in their struggles. Think about the people who have inspired you the most. Chances are, their stories weren't just about success or triumph, they were about overcoming adversity. There's something profoundly powerful about hearing someone say, "I've been there too, and I made it through." It gives us permission to believe that we can do the same. When we share our own stories of pain and growth, we offer that same gift to others. We show them that it's possible to rise from the ashes, to find meaning in the midst of suffering, and to create something beautiful out of the broken pieces. Sharing our journey doesn't have to be grand or public. It can be as simple as having a heartfelt conversation with a friend, mentoring someone who's facing a similar challenge, or writing a letter to someone who needs encouragement. What matters is the intention behind it, the desire to use your pain as a source of light for others. When we do this, we not only help others, but we also deepen our own healing. There's a profound sense of purpose that comes from knowing your pain has served a greater good, that it has helped someone else find their way through the darkness. This process of inspiring others also reinforces our own growth. When we share our stories, we're reminded of how far we've come, of the strength and resilience we've built along the way. It's a powerful affirmation that our pain was not in vain, that it had a purpose, even if we couldn't see it at the time. And as we continue to share, we create a cycle of empowerment, where each story of transformation inspires another, creating a community of resilience and hope. Of course, sharing our pain requires vulnerability. It means opening up about the parts of our lives that we might rather keep hidden. But vulnerability is also where connection is born. When we share our authentic selves, we give others permission to do the same. We create spaces where people feel safe to be honest about their struggles, to ask for help, and to believe in the possibility of healing. This is how we turn individual pain into collective power. So, as you reflect on your own journey, consider how you can use your story to inspire others. Who in your life needs to hear that they're not alone? How can you use your pain to create a ripple effect of hope and resilience? When we share our pain with purpose, we transform it into a force for good, one that has the power to change lives, including our own. Let your story be a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is light waiting to be found. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with this thought. Pain is universal, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. It can be the beginning of something extraordinary if you choose to see it that way. We've explored how to embrace pain, reframe our perspective, extract its lessons, channel it into purpose, build resilience through action, and inspire others with our stories. Each of these steps is a powerful reminder that pain, while inevitable, is not insurmountable. It is not here to break us. It is here to shape us, to teach us, and to propel us toward growth. Transforming pain into power isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. There will be moments when the weight of it feels too heavy, when the lessons are hard to see, and when the path forward seems unclear. But in those moments, remember this: you are stronger than you think, more resilient than you know, and more capable than you believe. Every challenge you face, every setback you endure, is an opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more empowered than before. So as you move forward, I encourage you to carry this message with you. Your pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your catalyst, and your source of power. Use it to grow, to create, and to inspire. Use it to build a life of purpose and meaning, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Let's transform our pain into power, not just for our own growth, but for the growth of everyone we touch. Because when we rise, we lift others with us, and together we can create a world where pain is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of something beautiful. Thank you.